Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I am starting a little declutter series for the end of the year. I know everyone is doing these now, but I really wanted to kind of go through my entire makeup collection, split it up into a few categories here, and really go over each product one by one, so you guys get little mini speed reviews on everything. If you guys didn't know, I do YouTube as my full-time job, and I do review makeup for a living, so I do have a lot of products, more than the average person, of course. So I do like to do these declutters here and there just to kind of make some room. I'm actually thinking of getting some new storage, which is kind of sad because I love my little pink toolbox, but it hasn't been working the best for me lately, so we might switch over to some organizers from IKEA soon. We'll see. I'm hoping to do that maybe in the new year. But yeah, I thought I would go ahead and film this for you guys today with my extra stuff. Sometimes with some stuff I buy, I'll list on my Poshmark page. If I got certain PR things, I usually will give to for like friends and family, and anything new I try to donate. So I hope you guys enjoy this series. Today's is going to be kind of a bunch of stuff in one. I'm going to be going over my foundations, concealers, primers, and powders all in one video, just because I like these to have a lot of product in them and be a little bit longer for you guys. And then like when I get to my like blush bronzer, those I might do separately. We'll see, because I kind of want to do some swatches with those, so you guys can really like get my full review on those things. And then of course the eyeshadow palette declutter is going to be amazing. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this declutter. Alright, so I wanted to go ahead and start with my different foundations and skin tints here. I definitely want to narrow this one down for sure, because there's just a lot and I can't get to all these. And I definitely have some that I love and some that are just okay. Let's start with the YSL All Hours foundation. I really enjoy this one. It's been kind of a newer purchase for me this year. I know this used to be popular back in the day as well, but I just feel like this wears so well on my skin. It's really good, I would say, if you have combo oily skin. It gives a really nice coverage too. So this one's going to be definitely staying in my collection. It's one of my favorites this year. Next up, we have this one from Laura Mercier. This is the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. I will say there is aspects of this one I like, but then it's just, I think, too greasy on my oily skin. But it is beautiful. I really like that it is such a nice liquidy formula. It's so lightweight on the skin, but I do think it works a little bit better if you have more dry skin. So if you're oily like me, I just don't think this one works out as much as I would like it to. So I think I am gonna go ahead and declutter. I do have the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. Now this one is a little bit more luminous as well, but I would say it still holds up well on my skin. Doesn't break down, so if you do want like a little bit of glow but you don't want your makeup melting off at the end of the day, I would say this is a good one to get. I just love how my skin looks with this one on. I feel like I always get so many compliments when I'm wearing this one in videos, and it just looks so natural and a nice glow from within on the skin. So I will be keeping that. It is another favorite of mine from this year. I feel like everyone loves the Luminous Silk from Giorgio Armani, and I have tried it a couple times. I think it's pretty, but honestly in finish I still feel like I prefer the NARS over this one. I feel like a lot of people used to love this one back in the day, but I think there is formulas that are just as good. These are a little bit more on the pricey side as well. So since these are just a little bit too glowy than what I would like, and I do think there is some better formulas out there, I'm going to go ahead and let both of these go. I do have two of these, which you'll notice in my collection. Sometimes I have two shades of stuff because I do self-tan about once a week for like photo shoots since I work at a boutique. So that is why I have two shades, but I'm going to be letting go of both of these actually. This one's kind of surprising. I've been trying to make this work for me, the House Labs foundation, but I think it's just too oily on me. Again, if I want something a little bit more luminous, I'm gonna go for the NARS. That just seems to be my favorite. I know this is like holy grail status for so many people, but I just don't think it works as well for oily skin. So declutter. I have two of these Catrice True Skin foundations. I've been actually getting back into this one as of lately, and I love how this looks on the skin. One of the better, I would say, drugstore foundations, more affordable. It does get a little bit glowy on me throughout the day, but it doesn't break up. It's nothing a powder cannot fix. It's not overly glowy. So I feel like this one lasts a while on me and it just looks really pretty on the skin. So I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, into my skin tints, which a lot of these I actually really like. I will be keeping the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydra. This is such a good one too. It's one of my favorites for oily skin. This one I feel like has like a little bit of coverage. It's not a lot. I think the only flaw with this is really the shade range isn't great, but I really like this one on me. I feel like it holds up well, gives a slight tint to the skin, and just doesn't really get too oily throughout the day, which a lot of skin tints tend to do that on me because I feel like a lot of them are made so glowy, but this one is great. I'm gonna definitely keep it. I also really love the YSL new one. This one holds up on me all day long. It is very light coverage though. I have been getting more into skin tints. I used to just be like, I always wanted full coverage, at least medium coverage, but I've been kind of embracing the lighter skin tints for like my non-filming days and stuff like that. With this one, I do have two shades again. I have number 2 and number 7. I will say the number 2 leans a little bit yellowy on me, but I really like it. I probably should try a different shade, but I do really want to keep both to have one for just my normal shade and then one for my self-tan shade. So I'm going to keep both. The Colourpop Pretty Fresh Skin Tint is another one that works really great for oily skin. This one holds up all day, a lighter coverage. I'm going to go ahead and keep that one too. I might go ahead and declutter this Stay one. This one's nice as well, but I just feel like the other ones work a little bit better for me. I have nothing against this though, but I mean, I wish it was just a little bit more mattifying. But I prefer the YSL. I prefer the Wet n Wild over this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let this one go. Let's get these two out of the way. I have these two It Cosmetics CC creams. I used to love this, but like these have been sitting in the box for months now, so I might as well declutter them. I just don't think it's my favorite anymore. It does have a lot of coverage, but yeah, it doesn't hold up as well on me as some of my other more mattifying foundations. So used to love it, but I think there's just better formulas out there now, so I'm gonna let these two go. All right, let's start over here. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. This one, it is annoying because I feel like the packaging, the dropper kind of stops working on this as much and it's a little messy, but I really love the formula of this skin tint. I remember like wearing this on like a full almost 14-hour makeup day and it still looked great all day long, which is crazy for me since my skin is so oily. But this is just, it works great. It looks natural on the skin. It does have a little tiny glow to it. I really like this, so I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, this Fenty stick, I have been trying to make it work for me, but it's just, it doesn't hold up on me. And I feel like so many people like this one, but yeah, for me, I just kind of regret buying it. I mean, when I first put it on, it looks so beautiful. It's so creamy, it's so easy to blend out, so I love that about it. But yeah, the big thing for me with foundations is it has to last all day and it can't get too greasy. And this one does not hold up. It starts breaking up within a few hours. So this one is a pass for me. This from Fenty, this is their skin tint, the Eavesdrop. This one I prefer. So if you are more oily, I would go for this one instead. It's like a more light to medium coverage, so it gives a little bit more coverage than most skin tints, but I really do like this one. And then we have this one from Estee Lauder. This is kind of a newer one in my collection that I've been trying out. It's their Double Wear Sheer. And I used to love Double Wear, but I feel like now it's a little too heavy for daily use. So I've kind of stopped using it, even though it's a really great foundation. It holds up literally for hours in like 90-degree weather. And this one's just kind of a tint version of it. Definitely a lot more lightweight. So if you do like the effects of Double Wear, but it's just too heavy for you, give this one a try. I have been liking this one. This one has to go. This is the Rare Beauty Skin Tint. This one is just like way too glowy on me. Again, it just does not last. So it's not my personal favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. This one I really did not like either. I think this one came out this year. I feel like it got so much hype when it released, and it's the L'Oreal True Match, but I think they redid it a little bit. They changed the formula from the old version and they made a new bottle, which new bottle, love the new bottle. It's so nice that it has a pump and everything. But this just doesn't look good on my skin. But this one just does not hold up on me for the full day, so I'm gonna declutter. Okay, Lancome. I have been liking this one. I will say it's not my like #1 for matte full coverage. I'll get to that one in a minute. but I feel like it works good. It's just not like top tier, but I feel like I want to keep it just to have a couple more fuller coverage foundations in my lineup. I know this one I think was also reformulated from their original Idol foundation, but I like it. I don't know where the lid is on this one. Sometimes I lose my foundation lids. I'm missing like 3 in this pile right now, but I'm gonna keep it. If I end up not using it a ton in the next few months, I might let it go, but for now I want to keep it. I do have this Guerlain Le Tint foundation. This is really pretty on the skin, definitely a little more pricier, but I love how this looks on. This is super lightweight. It feels almost just like water on the skin, and it does give a nice medium coverage. This does get a little bit glowy throughout the day on me, so I'm kind of on the fence with this one, but I think I want to stick it out and use it a couple more times because it is so pretty when you do put it on. So I need a little bit more time with this one. It's like a maybe for me right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep that. This one is my favorite for just the matte fuller coverage look, the Too Faced Born This Way Matte. This is my go-to for any special occasion, any photo shoot I have where I need to look flawless, and this will hold up all day. So this has been a favorite of mine since it launched years ago, which, I mean, I feel like people don't really care for Too Faced anymore, and I feel like this does not get talked about, but this is one of the best foundations for oily skin. I will be, of course, keeping it. I haven't found one that like beats this yet. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations for like a nice fuller coverage non-oily foundation. Okay, this one was sent over from Say. This is the glowiest foundation ever. It just does not work out for me. It's called the Glowy Super Skin. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have bought this because I try to avoid things with the name glow in the name, so I will be decluttering this one. This is like Grease Central. Maybe if you're very dry this would work, but I feel like not a lot of people like this. I have these from Hourglass, again, a couple different shades because I use this one a lot for photo shoots as well. This is the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation from them. I really like this one. It's not as matte as the Too Faced, but they are very comparable, I would say. This one just has a slightly more natural finish on the skin, and it will get a little bit of oil throughout the day, but nothing like that's too crazy that I can't control. So I really like this one. I think it looks beautiful on the skin, even though, again, I said I don't buy glow stuff, but this one does say soft glow in the name, but it's not really glowy when you put it on. I think this is beautiful. If you want just like an everyday medium to full coverage, this is great. So keeping both of those, if you didn't catch that. Okay, this one I actually really like from Colourpop, their Pretty Fresh line. I think this is beautiful. Again, kind of a natural finish on the skin, not too matte or anything like that. It is hyaluronic. It does say hydrating, but I don't know. I think this is beautiful. It's super affordable. They have so many different shades, and I've just been really liking this one for years and years, so I will be keeping that one. I have 2 of these one size, which I think I need to declutter one because one of them does not work for me, but I actually really like this. This is the Turn Up the Base BBB cream, which stands for Beauty Blur Balm. It's not really a BB cream. I don't know if you guys remember the BB cream hype phase that was like the beginning times of YouTube. Everyone was coming out with BB creams. This is pretty, I would say medium to almost full coverage, but I love the One Size brand. I feel like they make a lot of great stuff for oily skin. I'm gonna keep this newer shade I got in light 2. It is light golden, which typically I go for neutral tones or cool tones. This one here in light 3N is just slightly too red for me, so I think I'm gonna declutter this and keep this one, the light 2. It's like it's a pretty decent match, a little yellow, but I'm gonna work with it because that's what I have, so I'm gonna keep that one. I wish they would make it into like a normal foundation bottle because I don't really like the squeezy tube on this one because it is more full coverage, but it's a nice formula, so I'll keep it. Okay, this one I've tried from the Polite Society line, which is newer at Ulta. This is their More Than a Pretty Face Skin Caring Foundation. I don't think it's a bad foundation, but it definitely doesn't hold up on me all day. It definitely started breaking up on me, I would say within hour 5 or so. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. This one I really like. Of course, I'm missing the lid, but this is the new REM foundation that came out. at Ulta. Really good one, which is surprising because usually this brand, it's very hit or miss for me, but this works really well. I would say nice medium buildable coverage for sure, and it's a nice natural finish, so not too matte, it's not too glowy at all, and it lasts really well for me. So this is definitely one I think that's worth checking out. I know they have a ton of shades in this line as well, I think at least 50, so this is really great, and it's been a new favorite of mine, so keeping that. I also love the Dior foundation. This has been a nice one for a more, it's kind of in between a skin tint and a regular foundation. It's like the best of both worlds. It's really lightweight on the skin. I think is it called the Face and Body? Yeah, it's called Face and Body. I have 2 shades in this one because I love it so much. So definitely gonna keep both of these because yeah, it's a favorite of mine. I wear it a ton. Usually you can tell if something's a favorite when I have 2 shades of it. The Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is such a nice kind of more medium coverage foundation. It holds up all day for me. I really like it. I know this is one that was reformulated. What is on this? It's like greasy. I need to clean these bottles, but this works great for me. I do have it in like my normal shade and a more tan shade, but I really enjoy this foundation. I've never really liked the other HD Skin versions that they've done. This has been my favorite so far, and I think it works great for oily skin. So let's see how many we're keeping. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's still a lot. I know a lot of these are duplicates anyway, so a lot of these are just doubles that I need 2 shades of, but these are definitely some of my favorite formulas, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, keep it at that. So those are my keeps. And then for declutters, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So 13 declutters, not too bad. Okay, so I thought I would throw in also in this video my primers and my powders, just because I know this will be a quick declutter. There's not a ton that I'm going to be getting rid of here, but there's definitely some things, especially in the powder section, that I see that I can declutter, like my favorites. But let's start over here. I do have these e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filters. I actually do like to use these. Sometimes I will add in a little extra glow here and there if I'm not needing my foundation to like last all day and not get too oily, but I don't know, it just adds a nice kind of radiance and makes the skin just look very healthy and pretty. So I actually do like these, and I will be keeping both of these. I have like a little darker shade and the lighter one, but I really like the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I think it's such a good product. Now this Say product does basically the same thing. This one is their glowy super gel. So I feel like since I have the e.l.f. ones, I feel like I don't really need this more expensive version because I'm always reaching for the e.l.f. They basically do kind of the same things. I could use this for a liquid highlight if I wanted to, but I don't really see the need. I don't even wear highlighter that much. So I'm going to declutter the Say one. e.l.f. does such a good job with primers. I'm going to keep the liquid poreless putty one as well. This one I feel like makes the skin so smooth, and I do feel like it holds up my makeup too. So I want to keep that. And another e.l.f. favorite, as you can see, they really are the primer queens. I have their Power Grip, which I definitely want to keep this too. This is a nice sticky primer that does keep your makeup on longer throughout the day. It doesn't really control oil, but you can see I've used this quite a bit, and I really do like it because sometimes I do have some issues with some of my foundations breaking up, and this just assures that that's not going to happen. So we'll keep that. This is one of the best mattifying primers. It's actually waterproof too. Just hate the packaging. This lid does not like to stay, and it's just a mess. A lot of you guys told me to get one of those like toothpaste like pincher things so that I could pinch the product all the way down. But I like this. From One Size Again, what is this called? Secure the Sweat. It does a great job. It smells a little bit like glue, but it really is glue for your makeup. So I'm gonna keep this one. This one I have tried. It's not the best mattifying primer. I do prefer the One Size or my Janessa Myricks, which I'll be sharing shortly. So I'm going to declutter the Smashbox Mattifying. I love the Hourglass Vanish for all day makeup wear too. It really smooths out the skin and does give that airbrushed look. I feel like if you suffer with large pores, this one is a nice one. So I'll be keeping that one. Okay, I've been kind of using this YSL one here and there, but I just don't feel like I need it. It's like a glowy balm. But for me, I'm like, I think I would rather just use a moisturizer, and I feel like it does the same thing. This is not as luminous as, let's say, the e.l.f. liquid filters. This one just gives a healthy look to the skin. I would say it's nice if you have dry skin, but for me, I just think a moisturizer or a serum is gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna declutter that. I do have this Bobbi Brown like face space thing. This again is like a makeup prep, but essentially it's just a moisturizer in my opinion. This is, I think, a little mini size. I know so many people love it, but for my oily skin, I just don't see this as a needed step in my routine, so I'm gonna let this go. Mostly for primers, I'm looking for stuff that's going to keep my makeup on longer or mattify. I'm not really looking for extra moisture. And then my holy grail of holy grails, my Donessa Myricks. This is the Yummy Skin Balm. This is the tinted one. And it is amazing. As you can see, I've almost used this whole thing up. It's such a miracle product. Very smoothing on the skin and instantly mattifies. It turns from a cream into a powder. It's a miracle worker, and it has saved my skin. I can wear my foundations like all day now and not have to worry about like my skin getting too oily. I do have like a little mini one of this too. I forgot to throw that in just as a little backup. So love this stuff. Highly recommend for oily skin. So those are obviously staying. And now we have like a bunch of powders. I've lost my lid to this one for now, but this is just the one size powder. I use this a lot for mattifying. I will say a lot of people don't like this because the powder is kind of clumpy itself, but I feel like it smooths out on the skin. It's just great for mattifying, so I'm keeping that one, and also the mini. I have that for traveling, so we'll keep that. My other favorite powder is the Huda, which this one's so smoothing. It's not quite as matte as the one size one, but it still keeps my makeup on for a long time. I'm just about out. You can see I have like barely anything left in this one, Cupcake, but I bought a backup in Pound Cake just because Cupcake was more pinky tinted. This one's more neutral tone. But yeah, I love my Huda powder, and it's seriously one of the best on the market. So those are staying, as well as my little mini Huda powder too. This is Banana Bread, which is kind of like an under eye setting powder, a little travel size. Okay, this one we can declutter the makeup forever. This one is the HD Skin Twist and Lay. I did like this when it first came out, but then I started using it more and I noticed that it has like weird glitters in it, and it's very glowy, which it does make your skin literally look like a filter when you first put it on. But then it kind of stays glowy throughout the day. So I love the first effect of it for the first few hours again. But yeah, once your makeup's sitting on for a while, it's just going to get greasy looking. So I've decided that I'm just going to go ahead and declutter these. I don't love it as much as I did at first. I don't really wear powder foundations that much, so I think I'm going to declutter this Yensa one here. I don't know, I always go for translucent powders for some reason. I do have this like colored powder too, which, I mean, I'll just hold on to this one for now. I mean, it's nice for touching up, I suppose. This is the one size turn up the base, but usually I really do not reach for powder foundations to set my makeup or to touch up with, but I feel like, I don't know, one is nice to have on hand for when you do need a touch up and your foundation might be kind of breaking up on the skin. I feel like this could be nice just to add a little color back in. So we'll just keep that one. This is a Say translucent air set powder. I'm going to declutter this one. I just really haven't reached for this at all. I think I tried it once. It wasn't anything special. I love my Huda and my one size powder more, so I'm going to declutter. This Gucci one, honestly, don't buy this. I honestly just use this for touching up my makeup, so I don't really feel like you need this. And that's really the only reason I've held on to it, because I don't really have any matte, like, all over powder. So it's basically just a blotting powder for me, and that's the only reason I have this one. So I guess I'm going to keep it for now because it's like one of the only ones I have. But yeah, you definitely don't need to buy the Gucci. It doesn't really do much. This one I was using a while for brightening my under eyes from LYS. It's a really nice brightening setting powder. I have a couple other ones though, so I really feel like I don't really need to keep this one anymore. I did hit pan on it. As you can see, I did use it quite a bit, but now I've been kind of reaching more for like the Charlotte Tilbury one, the airbrush a lot, as well as my Givenchy loose setting powder, this pink one that I like a lot, the rosé one. So I'm gonna keep these two for sure. We'll declutter the LYS. And then I also have the Pat McGrath brightening, which I feel like I might declutter this one as well. I just don't need all these brightening powders, so we'll let go of this one too. I've just been using my Givenchy nonstop. Okay, I have a couple other loose powders here. This Colourpop one, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. I think I got this in PR. Used it once, wasn't impressed really. I don't think it really did much. Didn't really hold my makeup longer or anything like that, so we'll declutter that. These Sigma ones are decent. They're not my favorite powder. I feel like they're a nice natural finish. I personally like a little bit more oil control. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and let these go. They're just not something I reach for very often. And then I just got this Milk Makeup one. This is a nice mattifying one, so I wanna hold on to that. I've really only used it like once or twice, so I'm gonna keep it. I will declutter this Maybelline banana powder. I was keeping it just for like drugstore videos, but if I really don't like love the powder, I don't really see a point in recommending it or keeping it. It's okay, but it's a banana powder and I have more fair skin, so this doesn't always work for me. And then I'm gonna declutter this Laura Mercier Ultra Blur one. It's a little too luminous looking. I think I did use this. Let me check. I'm pretty sure. No, I haven't used this one, but they did send me a full size and I think I already decluttered. But I'm gonna go ahead and let go of the mini too. And then I'm gonna keep this Hourglass powder as well. This is a nice natural powder that does keep your makeup on for a long time. So we'll keep that as well, and maybe eventually down the road buy it in a full size. But I'm still very happy with like my Huda, my one size, those are my go-tos. So who knows if I will be getting a full size, but for now we're gonna keep that. So for now, that's 5 primer declutters and then 9 powder declutters. Let's also add concealers in here too, because I love long declutter videos. So we'll just do all the things today with complexion. I can see I can get rid of a big chunk already with these Kokie concealers they sent over. I've been trying them out and I think they're okay, but I don't feel like they last very well on the under eyes. That's always my big thing, is I feel like concealer fades so quickly. I still feel like I have a darkness under my eyes in a couple hours when I use these, so they sent me like the full range, but I'll go ahead and declutter these and hopefully some of my friends and family can use these shades and see if it's something that they like. I'm also decluttering these Jones Row little pencil sticks. I don't know, these are just like not super creamy. I feel like they're kind of hard to apply. They don't offer a lot of coverage. I just don't know if this brand is really my style. I know they're really about like the minimal makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these two. If I do want something a little more minimal, I do like this Tower 28 concealer, so I'm gonna hold on to this. I feel like this is pretty. It's a nice serum consistency. I just feel like it looks nice and natural on the eyes. I'm also gonna let go of this True Skin from Catrice concealer. I love the foundation, but the concealer for me is just okay, so we can declutter. I'm also going to declutter this Sephora Best Skin Ever one. This is a nice concealer, but in my collection it's getting a little dated up there in age, so I'm going to let this go and I'll have to grab another one during the next like Sephora sale. I have this YSL brightening pen and I think I'm going to let this go as well. It's nice and brightening, yes. It feels very moisturized and hydrating, but it just does not hold up, and I feel like it's not enough coverage for me under the eyes, so I'm going to declutter this one. I will say when I want something brightening, I do prefer the Maybelline. This is the Dream Eraser in this like pinky tone, so I'm going to keep that one. All of my best concealers have come out this year. This House Labs one is really great. I feel like it looks natural under the eyes, but still gives me enough coverage and the long wear that I'm looking for, so we'll be keeping. Another favorite is the Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. Oh, this is so good. It gives me great coverage and looks beautiful under the eyes. It lasts all day. This Urban Decay one, I don't think I've been that really impressed with. I know it came out with like this weird sponge tip. It's supposed to be like multi-use, but I never really used that part. I think I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I'm really trying to narrow this category down, so I feel like we're doing really good. I'm also letting go of this Armani concealer. This one I think is also getting up there in age, and it's nice, and I feel like it was very raved about. I really like the newer concealers that launched this year even more, so I'm going to let this one go. I will hold on to this Lancome one. I think this one is really nice. Nice full coverage, looks good under the eyes, wears all day, which is what I love, so we'll keep it. This Pat McGrath one, I love this formula, but I might need to buy another one because it's looking kind of weird, like it needs to be mixed up, and it could be because of age. I know she always has sales on her stuff, so I'll definitely have to pick up another one during a sale, but I better let this one go just in case it's gone bad. I don't know, but I do really like this formula. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealers, the NYX Bear With Me. It's like a serum consistency. Actually kind of does remind me of the Tower 28 one a lot. I'm also keeping my Colourpop Pretty Fresh. I really like this concealer. This is really pretty under the eyes. I feel like it's a nice natural finish as well. I will declutter this Valentino one. I don't know, this brand just really hasn't come out with anything that's really blown me away. And again, I had the other concealers this year that I thought worked better, like the Natasha and the House Labs for sure. So I will declutter this one. And then this is one of my other top concealers. This is the Huda Beauty one. And I don't know, this just gives a lot of coverage under the eyes and I feel like holds up really well. Again, just hits all the marks for me. So we'll keep that. This Purlisse one I've been using for more natural days, but I don't feel like it sets down very well. It's very hydrating, but it just feels kind of like wet and sticky throughout the day, even with setting with powder. So we'll declutter. And then I think I'm going to declutter this little Tarte Shape Tape one. I think I got this for like a little video and I never used this. I don't know, it's not my favorite concealer anymore. I know everyone used to love this back in the day, but there's been so many better ones coming out this year. These two are both staying. This is my Sigma like color corrector. This is one of the best color correctors I've used. I've tried so many this year from like NARS, Huda I think had one. The Seriously Reign Supreme. I love this formula. This one has a nice thicker consistency that actually does cover, which is good. So I will use this underneath like regular concealer. I will be keeping the NARS Soft Matte because this is my everyday blemish concealer. And again, this one's a little thicker too, but I don't really like this under my eyes, but it covers so well for blemishes. It's like the most full coverage. So this category we actually did really good. I'm decluttering 16 concealers and keeping only 10. That's awesome. All right, so I did do a little reorganizing in here. Still a little mess because we still have some more drawers to go through, but I moved stuff around in my toolbox. This is what I was mentioning earlier, that I might have to switch to a different type of storage. I want something that's like longer drawers so I could like stack my foundations upright. I think it would just be easier for me. But yeah, I moved like my concealers and my primers in this first drawer because it's a little thinner. And then we have the powders in here, which I might add some extra stuff in here because I do have a little bit of room. I did not do my setting sprays in this video, but I didn't really declutter any. These are just kind of my tried and true favorites right now. The Milk Makeup, Charlotte Tilbury, of course. I have an e.l.f. SPF one as well. And then my foundations, I redid this so they're kind of upright here. I had to put them at an angle, otherwise the drawer doesn't close quite. And then like my really long ones I had to put in this organizer because those just will not fit. But yeah, I kind of organized that so everything's like facing out and I feel like it looks really good. So those are the first 3 drawers that we did get organized. So that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will be decluttering much more of my collection in the next week or 2. I'll probably post these every other day or so because I have a lot of categories to go over. But thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.